everybody, it's Rob Holman with Northwest Fishing Reports. This week is WDFW's Bass Week, and I'm here with Levi Rodello on Potholes Reservoir. He's going to talk about how to fish jigs and soft plastics around different kinds of cover.
You've got a couple different types of jigs. You got a swim jig here. Now its head is pointed differently. That's the swim through cover, versus this jig head is for like structure, fishing wood, some heavy brush. It comes through it a little bit easier. As far as trailers go, this is just a double tail from Fisher Brothers Baits. This is just a Strike King Rage Bug, nothing fancy. There's different weights. I like a little bit, not about a medium, like a 3/8. It gives it a decent fall as it's coming down, and those bass will either hit it on the fall or when it hits bottom, they'll pick it up. Running 40, 50 pound braid, and same setup as a frog basically. You want to pull them out of that brush. We have a chatterbait here. It's basically a swim jig with a blade on the front of it. One of my go-to trailers, Fisher Brothers Skullfish, and that's just to cast it out and slow retrieval, get that blade thumping. You'll feel it on the rod. That blade's going to be doing that in front of that bait. This is a Strike King Rage Lobster. That's another good trailer. Those tails right there kick in the water. They put off a lot of vibration. I like that red flake. It really shines when that sun's out. As far as more trailers, you've got your swim baits. Those are Kitex. They're Strike King Rage Swimmers. They all do the same thing. I don't think color matters a whole lot as long as it matches your jig color. Just kind of whatever your favorite is. And one of the other things we've been catching fish on today as far as soft plastics is Cinco. Again, tons of different brands, whatever you prefer. We've been wacky rigging them. Danny's been throwing one Texas rig. He's been catching them, so it doesn't seem to make a difference today on what we've been doing. Whether it's weighted or weightless, that hasn't mattered either. And the wacky rig Cinco, the cool thing about that is you can fish it anywhere. So these are just an extra wide gap hook, and I like to throw tungsten just because it's a little bit smaller weight when you're trying to get into a certain size. But you would have, your line's going to be tied to this hook here. What I usually do is I go right to the 90 on that hook. You got a 90 there. Bury that into the bait, push it out through the bait, bring it around, and you want that bait to be in as straight a line as possible. So then you're going to measure where that hook's supposed to poke out, push it through that craw, then you take your craw and just kind of bury that hook just a little bit. That's going to make that 100% weedless. Now your bullet weight, you run that up the line. I like to put a bead there so that weight's not beating up the knot every time you reel it in. So you throw your bullet weight on, and then you usually tie the hook on first, but you can also bend your craw down like that. Tie your line on, Palomar knot, like I said, is what I prefer. And just pull that back up over the knot, and you are ready to fish. That's all there is to it, just something like that. Looks like a crawdad going through the weeds.
Awesome, Levi, I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Everybody, hope you're enjoying Bass Week.